Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of attributes of quadratic functions. This is standard A.7A in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 19 of the 2023 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. Alright, so we just have a basic quadratic function. We don't even need to find the equation. We're simply trying to describe this quadratic function, and we need to see which of these statements is true. So obviously 3 will be false. Let's just take them one at a time, and let's use what we know about quadratic functions to eliminate some of these incorrect answers here. So A, the function has 3 zeros. Okay, well, the number 0 doesn't show up on the graph. That's not what we're talking about, okay? So zeros are the values, right? So these are the x values that make y equal 0, or f of x, whichever way you want to think of it, equal 0. So when you've got f of x equals 0 or the y equals 0, you know what that means. It means you're right here. So another way to say 0, 0's got a lot of different synonyms here. You can call them solutions. I think one of the easiest ways to keep them in mind is just to call them our x-intercepts. Okay, so your zeros, right? What is this x value that makes that y equal 0, okay? Well, that's just the x-intercept. So what do we have here? I've got 2 zeros. I've got a 0 at -3, so I've got an x-intercept at, no, that's -1. I've got an x-intercept at +3. You're not going to get 3 zeros unless you get, you know, some kind of like wavy, something like this, but now it's not a quadratic anymore. But you're just looking to see how many times does it cross the x-axis. If it crosses the x-axis, that's a 0. All right? So, no. B. The maximum value of the function is 3. Okay, maximum value is literally looking at what is the height, right? What is that highest value? And take a look. It's pretty obvious it's not 3. It's 4. So maximum value, minimum value, if it happens to be opening up, those are usually pretty easy to identify because you're just looking at that y value that matches the vertex, right? So my vertex right here looks like it's at coordinates 1, 4. And so you're looking at that y value. That is your maximum. So 3 doesn't work, 4 does. So those two are incorrect. Let's check. Okay, the vertex of the, look, I just wrote the vertex. The vertex of the graph of the function is 4, 1. Now, obviously, you see what they did here. They took the x and the y value, and they swapped them. Well, plot 4, 1 on there. That's 4, 1, if you're really wanting to see what that is, which means that's not anywhere on the graph. So, yes, there's a 4. Yes, there's a 1. But order makes a big difference, and our vertex is not 4, 1. It is 1, 4. Because remember that 4 is that maximum value right there. All right, so I sure hope it's D, because that's the only one that we have left. Let's look. The equation of the axis of symmetry. All right, so our axis of symmetry. Now, if you look at your reference materials, you're going to see something a little bit strange. And if you look at the quadratics, you're going to see x equals -b over 2a. Well, that helps if you have a function. We don't have an equation here, so that doesn't help us. We're not talking about that axis of symmetry. Really what we're looking at is what is the line that goes through the x value of the vertex, right? And you could use as a line of symmetry, so you can fold this in half. Well, it's that x value of that vertex, and so you simply would just label it by its x value. You don't worry about a line having like an x and a y value, because that y value is just going to be infinity up and down. So you would say it's x equal 1, because that is that x value of that vertex. That's the line of symmetry in which you could fold this function in half and it be equal. So that is our answer D.